here we are talking about business on purpose. And I am really thankful that this conversation is coming at a very important time, and that women of the world are really who people are going to look to steer us ahead. We need the influence of mother. We need the influence of matriarch. We need the influence of the nurturer to tend to the unsettled emotions, to be present to the vulnerability in those who are in a position of less safety and less assurance, that through our presence, we can disseminate the safety and the assurance that being in tune with our feelings and present to our guidance is how we're all going to navigate our way forward. I rejected the masculine system when I first came into business 12 years ago. On Friday, when I delivered this content in person, I really shared that men created this system. They were the first merchants and traders. Men are constant like the sun. They love 8-hour working days, 5 days a week. They love to mechanically move through emotions in a way that is consistent, in a way that is regular. Oh my goodness, this is not our natural function as women. We are like the moon, ever changing, going through different phases every day. We are sometimes visible and sometimes not. We have a strong sense of emotionality. That means showing up for 8 hours and doing the same consistent action 5 days a week is absolutely not an energetic resonance for the truth of who we are. I am quite a masculine orientated woman. I have strong proportion of masculine energy, which means I do 3.5 days per week, and I start at 10 and I finish at 9 p.m. and I am constant over that time. But then in my days off, I am very much in a state of surrender and vulnerability and making space to nurture myself. So I want to expose that this is my rhythm and my habit, and we each need to choose something that's going to support ourselves. There is a huge call to harness and hijack business to be on purpose in the world. This was a conversation I started tuning into about 5 years ago, where I realized that we're not just working for money, we are living. And the truth of who we are has been prepared our whole lifetime. Many of you know that I teach our pain is our purpose. And I was born into a family with dramatic emotional volatility. There was no safety for me. And I can't even tell you how fortunate I feel today to have been forced to swim in such turbulent waters from the time of my birth. I want to assure you that the pain of our past was never intended for us to feel abandoned or neglected or unloved, but that was to expose us to the vicissitudes that would allow us to strengthen, that would fortify us, that would imbue us with wisdom, with a profound knowing. And I bring that to you today. I want you to feel the stability within my soul. Feel the safety, because when everyone's throwing their hands up in arms and there is doom and fear pervading the environment, I ground deeper into my being. Come with me now. I am here to remind us all that we have been called for a very sacred purpose. And because we have endured that pain, that it's our privilege and it's our prerogative to stand up and disseminate that sacred information. My whole tribe has a fear of inadequacy. We think we are not enough. So many members of my tribe are driven to get more qualified, more certified, more credentialed so that they can stand valid. And I'm here to reveal to you that there is no greater authority than someone who self-authorizes their own wisdom for themselves and their tribe. One of the biggest messages I've been receiving lately is that we need to claim our medicine, acknowledge our medicine, okay? And many of us who have been mistreated and disrespected and abused to one severe degree or less, we have been led to believe that we're worthless and that we're not important. And I'm here to say that that is so unfortunate, and it's simply not true. that we were asked and called to suffer so that we could learn through experience. I remember crying up, shaking my fist to the heavens one day saying, "Why would you deprive me of a loving, nurturing mother? It's the only thing I've ever craved in this life." And the heavens said, "Because that's who we've asked you to be, and that we knew the best way for you to know the true value of your nurture and compassion is to withhold it from you in this life. I come to you as someone who was not cuddled, I was not reassured, I was not sung to at night, and I still sing to my children at night. I rub their feet and I give them cuddles, tell them that I love them, and that I'm so fortunate to have them in my life. And I'm here to share that medicine with you because there were so many lonely nights that I cried and no one held me. And now I hold many. And that is my sacred calling. Write in the comment and tell me, what is a sacred part of your pain that is a sacred part of your medicine? And this can be simple or this can be long, but go ahead and share that in the comments because I want you all to witness one another. That's what women do. We listen, we witness, and we hold each other in compassion. And that is what we all need right now, and what I hope you can feel coming from me. I know that as we claim our medicine, the very next step is to take our medicine. This is not in the notes. So your very first one is to acknowledge or claim your medicine. Second point is to take it. Every day I am self-nurturing. Lisi, how are you feeling? I understand. Yes, I'm listening. I'm holding you now. I am self-nurturing and self-mothering. I take my medicine so that as I sit with you now, you can feel it coursing through my being and directly reaching your heart and your situation right now. After we claim and acknowledge our medicine, we step into the second step of taking it ourselves. We find ourselves in a leadership position. And when we are leaders, it is our responsibility to share our medicine. And that's why I'm getting you to acknowledge your medicine right now. Bree, thank you so much for commenting, and thank you so much for every one of you. I want you all to read that medicine. Anonymously, I can share someone has said, my voice feels muted by not being listened to. And I asked that person if she is here to speak up now. There is someone else who said that there's so much coming up at her heart, but at her mother's passing, she was left with 4 brothers and an unconscious father. And she said, I now work with the divine feminine. As someone who is deprived of a mother, she can now stand in a nurturing role. I honor that woman. Someone else is sharing, right, that my pain in my previous relationship has allowed me to sit with and guide women to have the relationship they desire. So by not having that stability of love and romance and connection, this person is now really driven to support others. Someone else's pain was grief. I would run and suppress it. Kept repeating until I healed mine, so I now can help others with theirs. Really want to show a huge amount of honor and respect for the transparency that's being revealed in these messages, and really glory in each of you. One of the huge privileges that we have right now is to hijack business to live our purpose. We get to harness a vehicle. We get to set up a way of working on our terms and conditions. I set my hours. I choose who I work with. I choose when I engage with those people. Many of my clients know that I'm uncontactable on Saturday and Sunday. That's when I'm devoted to my family. Clear boundaries. I uphold them, and that's our privilege and prerogative in our own business. I'm not working on someone else's timelines, objectives, or deadlines. One of the most sacred privileges of being in business is that we get to share what's most important to us. And for me, having a mother who was never able to earn a reliable, stable income came down to her inability to claim her medicine or to share it publicly. She simply didn't have the capacity to nurture herself or put herself out there. And I have deep compassion for that. The ramifications of emotional wounding that wasn't received by my father meant that as a proficient electrician, he created dilemmas and problems everywhere he went because he couldn't reconcile his past pain. The combination of my parents' own emotional volatility and their inability to create money in a way that nurtured them and nourished them and supported them led to emotional and financial instability in my past. What a privilege to witness these people firsthand. I am here to sacrifice my pride, to expose myself publicly, to put my face and my name to my words because I believe what I teach and I know what I know. If we don't back ourselves at this time, there's no one else out there that's going to reassure us. I'm here to ask you, are you prepared to validate that what you know is true? There was a woman at the workshop on Friday and I said, I want to hear what you got from this. And she raised her hand and she said, I'm right. And I offer that to you now. You are right. You know what's needed. And it's so important that you legitimize that to yourself. And if you need to write down on a piece of paper, I, Lacey Black, authorize my wisdom as sound, as grounded, as wise, whatever you need to tell yourself, okay? Yes, I'm a flawed individual. Yes, I struggle with some things in life, but my profession and my expertise is something that I deeply vouch for and I know to be valid, secure, and deeply grounded. And I invite you to give that to yourself now. One of the huge aspects of being in business on purpose is that we can have holistic prosperity and abundance. So I go for a walk once or twice a day. I start the day with a green smoothie. I make sure I have enough water throughout the day. If we are turning money and it is detrimental to our emotional, spiritual, or mental well-being, we are only grounding ourselves down into poverty. I call us all deeper into honoring yourself with the boundaries and the structure to make sure that you are supporting your health and that you are allowing yourself to come from your strength as you serve and demonstrate publicly. If we turn to the page where it has from profit to purpose, I am going to allow those who are not here to actually look at my guide by turning this over to share. And I'm going to be sharing my screen and I'm going to be taking you through because this is too important. I want to reference this information here. Now, profit, I want you to chuck over into the masculine, fear-based, patriarchal, profit-driven paradigm, whatever you want to reference it as. And it's about sales, marketing, bottom line, competition. Use any means necessary. One of the gentlemen at the workshop on Friday was literally grieving in front of me saying, Lacey, I have used any means necessary to make money. My heart grieves and mourns for all of those who are doing that because it's based on fear driving action. It is not the way of a feminine, trust-based approach. I teach and preach instead of being orientated on sales, we can be orientated on connection. And that's what we're doing today. Rather than being focused on marketing, it's about visibility. I just show up and share what's on my heart that resonates with some or not. But people that are my people see me because I'm showing up sharing. We should not be watching bottom line, but listening to needs. Are you listening to the needs of your tribe? I've already been doing 4 emergency calls with sacred clients I'm working with this morning because there were apparent needs that they needed support with. I was on call, showing up, giving the extra so that they felt supported today because that's what we do in feminine-based business. We are a cooperative. We are here to support each other. I'm dedicating my time. Thank you to the person who reached out and said, Lisa, how much for your webinar? I said, no cost. This is community service. This is the ache that I went through when my husband was made redundant. We moved to the country. I was only making a couple of $100s a week and we were living off that. And I knew I had to step into business in a way that was heart-based and full of integrity because I had to prosper on purpose to provide for my family. I am so grateful I had no one else to provide for me, no financial aid from my parents or my in-laws. It was all on me. How fortunate was I? I was forced to figure this out for myself. My clients take action on my guidance because they know I speak the truth. They are my kindreds, and when I offer counsel and guidance for them, they act on it, which irrevocably changes the course of their personal lives and their business. Inspiration is where we can come from, and that is what I want for all of us. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now and come back, because I really hope that something there really reached you. I'm going to talk a little bit about meaningful money and how important it is that if a client isn't prepared to transform with me, I don't want their money. And very, very important that we understand that we can only facilitate transformation by allowing ourselves to receive a transaction. Sacred money is the gateway to someone being at a point of choice to sacrifice a certain amount of their sacred money in order to open and receive your wisdom, your guidance, your knowledge base in order to transform their lives. I believe in a paradigm on mutually aligned, conscious choice, rather than people who elicit fear to insist on a purchase. All people are doing by using that methodology is getting prospects into the gate already at a point of fear, and they stay involved with that leader from a point of fear. There was a lady that once came to me. She loved my approach. She wanted to hire me. And I felt prompted to ask her about her financial position. And she confided in me that she only had enough money in her bank account as was on her credit card. And I said, sweetheart, this is not the time for you to invest in me. I'm going to spend 30 minutes with you. Here are the things that you have right now that you can offer to your tribe so that you can receive for yourself. I don't want people going into debt to hire me. I don't want people in a financially strained position investing in me. I want them to feel safe and at a point of trust so that they only deepen into trust with me. Oh, powerful Alicia on the scene today. If we are not creating an alliance, then you are in servitude to your clients. Don't take their money without being clear what they are required to bring to the partnership. My clients need to bring honesty, transparently, be on time, and do their very best to take the actions that they agree to. If my clients are prepared to do that, profound magic can happen. If they don't, nothing can happen. Do you know how horrible it is for us as service providers to not be clear, sharing our boundaries and conditions, expecting us to somehow miraculously create results for our clients? Doesn't happen. Make sure that you're being clear and telling them what they need to do. I know that every sacred transaction that's done with alignment and integrity creates powerful ripples of change that doesn't only transform your clients' lives, but transforms their family, their friends. The ripples are absolutely huge. One of the huge principles that I teach, because I was in eating disorders for 6 years and I learned how to tune into the trauma that was beneath the symptom, I've become a master of emotional calibration. And if you look at page 4, I'm going to go ahead and share that with you now. And this part here is what I want you to reflect on. As we're present to our own emotions, we can realize, where are you experiencing joy in your business? By golly, do more of that. Because anytime that we're experiencing joy, it's such a high calibration emotion. Definitely amplify that offer, that sharing, that marketing strategy. What I want you to do is anything that you feel pain around, I want you to allow yourself to pay attention. One of the consistent messages I have for my whole tribe is to get still and present, calm and reverent. Receive your pain and allow it to speak to you in a way that you can be informed. Irritation, speak up. So many of us are allowing our clients to dishonor us. I did it for years. No one dishonors me in my work now. I'm privileged to have clients who respect me and value me and honor me, and it's because I repeatedly spoke up. Anger shows us to clarify our boundaries. Jealousy means own that sacred desire that's been in the shadow for you. Sadness, grieve and mourn it. Vitality, share it. I'm going to finish up here by sharing these sacred messages in a very condensed and consolidated way, knowing that your heart will allow you to perceive what you need to know right now. What a beautiful time in the world, in life, for you to acknowledge that your past has perfectly prepared you for the present and that you are needed in the world right now. I have come to understand that I am here to reflect the medicine in my clients. Clients come to me unsure of their value. They don't really know what they're amazing at. Sometimes they're giving too much to people that are kind of their kindred tribe and kind of not their kindred tribe. I only want you to speak to your people. Don't waste your time on anyone else. They can't hear you, your voice, your face, your body as it is now, irrespective of what you think of it, is the conduit through which your tribe will hear. They will hear you because of your cultural background. They will hear you because of your past religious experience, whether it's there or not. Who you are is something that only your people can receive. Don't waste your time on anyone else. I know the exposure of feeling so frightened to be who we are in the world. My family didn't receive me. And that's why I'm here as a testament that being fully booked for 5 years and having people deeply appreciate my work. I've been so taken care of the last 3 years. It was the best year in my life last year, emotionally, financially, and a fulfillment level. And I didn't want to tell people that I was a business mentor publicly because I didn't want to be greedy. I didn't want to have more than my share because I've received more than ever before. And this start of the year, I scolded myself for being so small. And so I come to you because I have laid my pride on the altar of sacrifice and recognize that because I'm so fortunate to be prospering on purpose, I can't keep that information silent. And that's what this webinar is about. I'm here to reflect your medicine back to you. I'm here to help you claim it. And I am here to help you publicly represent that medicine in a way that you are sought after, fully booked, and prospering. Thank you for being here. Feel my love and support in your life. What a privilege it is to be alive right now.